Hey guys, so today we are going to do the topic of circles. If you did not watch the video on completing the square, I highly recommend you watch that video before watching this one because some of the concepts from that video will be in this video as well, right? So I highly recommend watching the completing the square video before you watch this one. And this topic here is about circles, so we're going to learn about the equations of circles and tangents to circles, okay? It's a very simple topic. Don't overthink it. It's pretty straightforward, okay? So let's get right into this. So, the equation of a circle with center 0, 0 and radius r is given by the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, where r represents the radius, okay? So, if the center is 0, 0, if the center is the origin of the graph, which would be here, okay, is given by the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. Okay, so if we have an equation x squared plus y squared is equal to 14, the center is 0, 0, and we know that r squared is equal to 14, therefore the radius r would be equal to the square root of 14. Okay, again, look at this one now. We have 2x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 8. Whenever we have a question like this, what we want to do is make the coefficient of x squared and y squared 1. Okay, so we divide and throw it by 2, so we get x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. So from this, we know that the center is 0, 0, and the radius r squared is equal to 4. So therefore, the radius r is equal to 2. Okay. Now, if the center is not 0, 0, there's a different equation. So if we have a center AB where A is the x coordinate and B is the y coordinate with the radius r, we have the equation, my bad, we have the equation x minus A all squared plus y minus B all squared is equal to r squared. Okay, and that is if the center is AB and the radius is r. Okay, so if you want to get the center from this, what we usually do is say x minus A is equal to 0, therefore x is equal to A, and then we say y minus B is equal to 0, therefore y is equal to B, therefore the center is A comma B. That represents the center. Okay, now if we have an equation x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equal to 16, what is the center and radius? Okay, so all we do is x minus 2 is equal to 0, therefore x is equal to 2. Then we have y plus 4 is equal to 0, therefore y is equal to minus 4. So therefore the center of the circle is 2 comma minus 4. And the radius is 16 is r squared. The radius is the square root of 16. For the equation below, again we have x plus 4 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 4. We have y plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, y is equal to minus 1. Okay, so the center is minus 4 comma minus 1. And the radius r is equal to the square root of 8. Okay, now we have the general equation of a circle. Okay, so if we have x minus A all squared plus y minus B all squared is equal to r squared, right? This is one of the equations. If you want to find the general equation, now what we do is we expand this. So if we expand this, we get x squared minus 2ax plus a squared plus y squared minus 2by, okay, minus 2by plus b squared is equal to r squared. If we simplify this now again, what we get is we put x squared plus y squared in front. Okay, then we have minus 2ax minus 2by plus a squared plus b squared minus r squared is equal to 0. Okay, and this is a general equation of a circle. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So let's say we have the equation let's say we have x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y minus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, this is the equation of a circle, and later on we would mention what makes this the equation of a circle. Okay, so let's say I give you this equation and I tell you to find the center of it, right? All we need to do, okay, is don't overthink it, right? This matches here, this matches here, okay, this here would match the minus 9, this would match this, and this would match this. Okay, so watch this now. We have minus, the coefficient of x is minus 2a, okay, from on top, and this would be equal to minus 4, right? And since we know a is the center, the x coordinate of the center, a would just be minus 4 over minus 2, which is equal to 2. Okay, look at the y coordinate now. We have minus 2b, the coefficient of y from equation 1, and let's call this equation 2. Okay, so we have minus 2by, where minus 2b, we could leave out the y, the coefficient of y is equal to minus 2. Okay, and what this tells us is that b is equal to minus 2 over minus 2, which is equal to 1. So therefore the center of this is 2 comma 1. Okay, so it isn't really that complicated. Okay, so as you could see, the coefficient of x is minus 2a. So the coefficient of x, so we write that this is important thing to note. Actually, the coefficient of x is equal to minus 2a. So if they give us the general equation, we know how to find the coordinate of x. But we can just say minus 2a is equal to the coefficient that they give us, in this case, which is minus 4. And then we just solve for a. And then the coefficient of y in the general equation, okay, is equal to minus 2b. Now, this is one way to go about it, or what we could do is actually go from here back to this form, okay? And it's simple to do. So let me show you how we do it. So we have the equation x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 2y, okay, minus 9 is equal to 0, okay? So what we're going to do is simply complete the square. So we want to group the x terms together and then group the y terms together. So we have x squared minus 4x, okay, plus y squared minus 2y is equal to 9, okay? We should put the 9 on the other side. So if you remember from the previous video completing the square, what we do is we add a half of the coefficient of the x term. So we add minus 2 all squared, okay? And then since we add in minus 2 all squared, we need to, in order to keep the equation balanced, we need to subtract it. So it would therefore be minus 2 all squared, okay? Then we'll have plus, same thing here, y squared minus 2y, and then we add in a half the coefficient of the y term, which is minus 1. A half of minus 2 is minus 1, all squared. And remember, since we are adding inside, we need to subtract outside, so it becomes minus 1 all squared is equal to 9. Okay, then we get x minus 2 all squared. So if we expand this, we'll get that. Okay, remember from completing the square. Okay, minus 4, because minus 2 squared is 4, and remember we have the minus sign here, plus y squared, sorry, so be y minus 1 all squared minus, and minus 1 all squared is 1 is equal to 9. Then to get in that form, all we have is x minus 2 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared is equal to 9 plus 1 plus 4. So therefore we get x minus 2 all squared plus y minus 1 all squared is equal to 14. So this is obviously the easier form to look at it at, because from this we know that the center is 2 comma 1, which we got over here, and the radius is equal to the square root of 14. Okay, so that's how we convert it from the general form back into this form. And it's pretty simple. We just involve completing the square. Remember, if you add something inside, to keep the equation balanced, you need to subtract it outside the brackets. Okay, so we need to know why is this equation a circle, and the conditions for to know whether or not it's a circle. The first condition is that the x and y must both be in the second degree. Okay, so what is the degree? The degree of a polynomial is the highest power of x or y in the polynomial. Okay, so what this means is that we have x to the power of n. This n must always be to the highest power that could be is 2, right? Meaning it's in the second degree. If it's x cubed plus y cubed, it is not a circle. Okay, so you must have a x squared term and you must have a y squared term. Okay, the next thing is that they both must have the same coefficient. Therefore it must be x squared plus y squared, or it could be 3x squared plus 3y squared. Okay, it cannot be 3x squared plus 10y squared, let's say, because then this would not be a circle. Okay, so the coefficient of the x squared and y squared term needs to be the same. Okay, and the last one is that there must not be an xy term. For example, you cannot have x squared plus y squared plus 5xy is equal to 10. Okay, this is not a circle. Okay, once you have xy, a coefficient for xy, right, it means it is not a circle. So again, for equation to be a circle, the highest power of x must be squared, the highest power of y must be squared, the coefficient of the x squared and y squared term must be the same, and there must not be an xy term in the equation. Okay, the next thing we come now to is tangents and normal to the curve. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with tangents. Okay, but a tangent to a curve touches the curve at one point only. If it touches it at more than one point, it is not a tangent. Okay, so a tangential line touches it at only one point only. Okay, so we have the normal and a tangent. A normal and a tangent are perpendicular to each other. Okay, there's a right angle between the two lines. The normal is the line which connects the center of the circle to any point on the circumference. We call that line the normal. Okay, the tangent touches the curve at the point of the normal. So it touches this point here, the same point where the normal ends. Okay, and it is perpendicular to that. Okay, so since they are both perpendicular, if you remember from coordinate geometry, the gradient of the normal multiplied by the gradient of the tangent would be equal to -1. So the gradient of a tangent is equal to -1 over the gradient of the normal when we rearrange it. Okay, so a common question they would ask is to find the equation of a tangent line which touches the circle at the point blah. Okay, and you basically have to find the gradient of the normal, then use that to find the gradient of the tangent, and then what we normally need is a point on the line, and this point on the circumference is the point you use. Okay, so let's see an example here. A circle with center 0, 0 has the point 4, 4 on its circumference. Find the equation of the tangent at that point. Okay, so we have a circle with center 0, 0. Okay, and a line touches this at one point, and this coordinate here is 4, 4. Okay, and we want to find the equation of this line here, which is the tangent, which touches the circle at only one point only. So we cannot directly find the equation, the equation of the tangent. So we need the gradient of the tangent, and to get the gradient of the tangent, you need the gradient of the normal. Okay, so we know the coordinate here, so we could find the gradient. We could find the gradient of this line here. Okay, so gradient of normal. So the gradient of the normal is equal to y2 minus y1, which is equal to 4 minus 0 over 4 minus 0, which is equal to 1. Okay, we have the gradient of the normal. Now we want the gradient of the tangent. Okay, so the gradient of the tangent, remember the properties of perpendicular lines. Okay, so therefore the gradient of tangent would be equal to minus 1 over the gradient of the normal, which is 1, which is therefore equal to minus 1. So the gradient of the tangent line is minus 1. Okay, now we want to find the equation of the line. So to find the equation of a line, all we need is the gradient and the intercept, or the gradient and a point, any other point on the line. Okay, and here they give us a point on the line. The point on the line is 4, 4 because it touches the circle at the point 4, 4. Okay, so therefore remember we have y minus y1 is equal to m multiplied by x minus x1. Okay, so we'll have is y minus 4 is equal to m, which is minus 1 multiplied by x minus 4. Okay, so what we get is y minus 4 is equal to minus x plus 4, because we have a minus and a minus. Okay, so therefore we have y is equal to minus x plus 4 plus 4, which is equal to y is equal to minus x plus 8. Okay, and this is how we get the equation of a line which is tangent. Okay, and we could also find the equation of the normal, because we already have the gradient of the normal, and we know a point that the normal passes through is also 4, 4. Okay, so both the normal and the tangent in this case passes through the point 4, 4. And this was the end of circles. It wasn't, I hope it wasn't too complicated, because it's a relatively simple topic. Please look forward to the next video on questions, because understanding the theory is one thing, but then putting it into practice is another. Okay, so do look forward to that video, and I hope you all learned something in this video. Thank you.